Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70mm, a podcast for film lovers. Every Monday, I sit down to talk about recently watched movies with dear friend and artist Danny Haas.
Muldoon's trip in this film. The man never skips a leg day. I cannot stop looking at his thighs.
And our spiritual advisor, Alexis.
He is a sexual creature through and through. I mean, the whole lip licking thing that he does with his tongue, yeah, it's a sexual signal that he's giving off, not just, to women, but to everyone.
Later, in our 100th episode, we talk about the movie that changed everything, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. We settled the age-old question. What is it about Jeff Goldblum that turns us on? Enjoy! Brand new music for the podcast by Cinematrix. We came to a handshake agreement with HBO.
Yeah.
To cease using their classic music on the podcast. And I think we stepped it up big time. Danny, what do you think?
Really did. It's an amazing piece. It's like when Spielberg asked John Williams to write for Jurassic Park, this is what we did.
This is our Jurassic Park moment, Proto.
Big time.
It really is. Yeah, this music, transcendent, if I had to choose a single word.
Yeah.
But I don't. I could use many words. Other words that I would say perhaps synthetic.
Ooh.
Oh.
God.
Would you say that when there's synth in the song?
Proto about to get a job at Pitchfork right now.
Pitchfork, call me. Email me. Maybe Twitter DM. That's probably how you'll get a hold of me best.
But we're very thankful to have that from Cinematrix and our legal battles behind us. We can put the past behind us now. HBO, we're back in our good graces. Danny alluded to some business in the pre-show, but we have more business to get to.
So much business.
Before we get to Jurassic Park, the big Jurassic Park episode 100, you can use the chapters to skip ahead if you want to just skip to the big show. We are adding a new permanent tier to the Patreon. First ever new permanent tier since we started. It is the new interns tier. A few months ago, we sent out a survey to our supporters to see if we did add a new tier, what would you be interested in? And the most highly rated ones were, I don't care, I'll sign up no matter what.
Yeah,
which is amazing, obviously. Thank you. And then there was a quarterly watch-along episode idea.
Excuse me.
Where the three of us sit down to watch a movie and record it. And the other one was yearly letters from Proto. And we quickly knew that was not scalable if we did that.
Yeah, it's not possible.
And then there was a channel just for interns to talk about the aforementioned ideas and access our secret planning calendar. So as of this episode, there's a new $10 tier, which $12 folks already have access to, so don't worry. That includes our very first watch-along episode, and that episode is Star Wars The Phantom Menace.
My God.
Star Wars 1.
2.5 hours.
We did it.
I think everyone probably saw us log it on Letterboxd a while ago, and we said nothing, but we literally just sat at our computers and watched Phantom Menace and talked to each other while we watched it. It was an amazing, fun time.
What a night.
And wouldn't it be cool if there was a video attached where you could just watch the movie in a 4x3 format with our audio, like you were watching an old tape? Wouldn't that be cool?
Would be rad.
That would be cool.
There's also the very first audio dispatches from Protolexis episode. I will say you're not ready for this. The creativity coming from Proto right now is off the charts. 40 minutes of audio just from Protolexis. What would you even expect to come from Proto?
What can I say for 40 minutes?
I don't know, but you did it and it was amazing.
I will say that the audio quality and the production value of this episode which will be quarterly. So the watch along episodes are quarterly. This is quarterly. These episodes from Proto. The audio quality and production of this episode is better than most podcasts I listen to on a daily basis.
Unreal.
Wow. Thank you.
We'll automatically get access to the interns channel. So we can talk about the episodes that are available in that tier. We don't want to kind of just rub it in everyone's faces in the other channels. We don't want to make anyone, who doesn't want to sign up feel like they have to sign up. So, and we have gotten questions about the $12 tier. Is it coming back? Where you choose the episode for a supporter only episode. And if and when it does come back, it probably won't come back until the middle of 2022, just because we still have to finish the picks that people sign up for before the year, before the year anniversary comes around. All right. So that's the end of the business. Thank you everyone for your support. We have a brand new permanent tier, no limit, $10 tier. You get discount if you sign up for the year. I think it's $100 for the year, where you get quarterly watch along episodes. Wouldn't it be great if there was a video that you could watch with the movie attached to the audio? Wouldn't that be great?
So great.
That'd be absolutely wild.
Audio
dispatches from Protolexis, which you're not ready for. Wear headphones when you listen to those episodes, and a special channel just for interns to chat about those benefits. We have to keep going. We have so much show to get to. It's the end of the year. We felt like we should do our top 3 movies of the year, our top 3 faves, the 3 hosts. Before we get to Jurassic Park, what were our 3 picks from the year that we love the most? Dan, are you ready to reveal your picks for 2021?
Yeah, I am. I went through and did a top 10 like I did for I think I actually forgot to do it last year, but my top 21, top 3, these are movies not necessarily that came out in 2021, but I watched for the first time in 2021. So top 3, number 3, My Dinner with Andre.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
I think about this movie quite often. And it's really stuck with me. I really dug this movie, picked up the Criterion of it. And it's just something that was very special. I liked it a lot. Number 2, Autumn Sonata.
Excuse me.
Ingmar Bergman. This movie was incredible. And I really, really loved the performances in it, on my Ingmar journey for the year. And number 1, I think you guys could have guessed, I picked Tick, Tick, Boom for a movie that felt right to pick for my favorite movie for the year. So that is my top 3. My top 10 list is private. I'll make public later on. But there you go.
My Dinner with Andre. I was not expecting that one at all.
Me either. When I looked through my list, I was shocked I even picked it. But yeah.
Shocked himself.
I shocked myself, but it really stuck with me.
Proto, how did your list shake out?
Well, I just shook it out in the last 5 minutes because I forgot. But I knew 2 of them. I was just kind of figuring out the third. So, I'll go with my number 3. I'm not really sure. There's so many movies that I want to say, of course, but I want to say The Innocents. I want to say Lawrence of Arabia, but I'm going to go with top 3 is Manos, which I watched back in June.
Yeah.
Which is like a Lord of the Flies story. Man, just thinking back, that was one of the best times this year, just sitting alone in the dark watching a movie. So good. I love that. A movie that I watched this year and that came out this year. I mean, I hate to do it, but Matrix Resurrections.
My gosh.
I mean, you heard me last week. I love this movie. I've been thinking about it. Every time I think about it, I have a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been, kind of divisive with people, but for me, it works. I love it. And I'm staying honest about it.
I felt like we were vindicated last week when our feelings were revealed. Total vindication.
Yeah, complete. There's nothing left to be done.
Kurtz in chat says both sides, please.
And my number 1 movie, which is going to be permanently on my top 3 faves, The Long Goodbye.
Oh,
The Long Goodbye is it. It really is like all-time favorite movie for me now. It just had a new release. I plan on getting it and watching it again and loving it even more.
amazing. Love it.
Remember the Blu-ray fiasco behind that movie? You purchasing Region B Blu-rays?
Not good. Not a good moment.
Berto has a drawer full of Blu-ray Region B Long Goodbye DVDs that he's hiding from his family.
Trying to sell them on Facebook Marketplace, like do a drive-by.
One quick thing about the patron tier, which is in the post that isn't live yet, that explains the launch. So like if you previously signed up for an annual plan and are like worried about how that'll shake out if you sign up for another annual plan, Patreon only charges you like a prorated price. So it takes into account what you've already paid and will give you a discount if there is one for like the amount of time that you've paid. So just a heads up on that. And also, if you ever run into a situation where you think you pay more, then you can just DM us and we'll hook you up. My top 3. Let's see. Number 3.
Let's hear this.
Number 3. How fitting. Ninja 3.
My gosh.
I mean.
My gosh.
What a moment when I was sitting down to watch that movie. This is what movies are made for. You know?
It's true.
The experience, just the fun, the laughs, the insanity, the silliness of that movie.
Amazing.
I mean, can we get a 4K release Criterion of Ninja 3? Please.
Is anyone working on this?
Remnant says number 2, New York Ninja. I have not purchased the New York Ninja Vinegar Syndrome disc. I was a little bit nervous, mainly because I think it was like a $39 price tag on it. You know, it was pretty steep, but I'll get it at some point in the future. Number 2, which we did an episode on, just for our supporters, Harakiri.
Oh, baby.
What a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it twice this year. Both picks from Torin. And God, that was a great episode too. I think we all pretty much loved that. Was that a 15 banger?
Had to have been.
Right? Did you give that 5?
Definitely.
Oh my God, what a movie. What a movie. So by all means, check that out. That's probably still streaming on the Criterion. And number 1 movie of the year that I saw for the first time, also did an episode on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Roma.
Oh, man.
Roma.
Alfonso, my sweet prince.
The waterworks.
Oh my God. The beach scene alone. If you don't just openly crumble at that beach scene, I need you checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. Are you a replicant?
So those are our top 3 for the year. Pretty good picks, if I say so myself.
None of us had overlapping picks either.
Slim, don't kid yourself. There's someone at home saying, these are their favorite movies of the year? Harakiri?
We'll get an Apple review.
Themselves movie lovers? Let's see. We have some new friends on Patreon that joined this week. So we want to give them a shout out. You can join at patreon.com/70mm, get access to uncut episodes, join the VHS Village Discord, discounts on Danny's Beautiful Prints and merch. I saw some new merch out of this week.
No comment.
Better check it out at vhsvillage.com. And you get access to the episodes in the 70mm vault. Mark, Lisa, Alex, Callie, Victor, Thad, Jimmy, and Kyle all joined this week. So thank you very much for your support. Most recent episode that hit the vault was, let's see, that was Prisoner of Azkaban, I think, still our most recent one. And if you are joining the interns tier, you get to listen to the Phantom Menace watch along. Gosh, remember C-3PO walking around like a total horror show in that thing?
You're Vietnam.
It was. I was trying to scan through that episode and listen to just me being so horrified by how he walked. Oh my God. Frightening. And every week we give away a free year of Letterboxd Pro, get rid of ads. You can see all your year-end stats, your life and film stats, really, when you become a supporter of Letterboxd. And you can see where all your movies are streaming. So if you add something to your watch list, you can find out where it's readily available. And that's Allison on IG, M. Konats. She shared The Matrix 4 on IG, so she also is a Matrix 4 supporter.
In the family.
I think we should talk about Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up? You want to talk about Don't Look Up?
Slim, what didn't you like about Don't Look Up?
Don't Look Up. This is Oscar bait. There's a lot of whispers that this is going to be the movie of the year. Don't Look Up. Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people think it's like the new Doctor Strangelove. You know, climate change. We all know climate change is real. Okay, Adam McKay? just because we didn't like the movie doesn't mean we don't think climate change is real.
Hmm.
I thought the tone was kind of bland. Like, I'm into dark humor and satire. Like, I just talked about that second Civil War Joe Dante movie that was on HBO. I thought that was a lot better than this.
Yeah.
It just felt like the tone was way off. I feel like if someone else directed it, it would have worked better.
Yeah, I felt like it was a comedy, but also too serious about everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would have liked it. We were talking a little bit in Discord. I would have liked if at the end, if the scientists were wrong and then like everything actually worked and like the CEO tech guy actually saved the planet and then like those guys looked like morons. Like that would have just flipped the script so much and would have like thrown people off.
Yeah.
Like, that actually would have been funny. But he just like was so sincere with everything that it's I said it felt very much like a dad writing jokes for a movie about something that, you know, he thinks he only cares about. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time, but I kind of expected this. I saw Vice, and Vice is very similar. So I guess I was prepared for this movie.
What's your rating for this?
3 stars.
3 stars. That's a death sentence from Proto. Total death sentence on Letterboxd.
I'm never watching this film.
I mean, the cast is legit. I mean, I don't know what Netflix paid for this movie, but it had to have been pretty substantial.
I mean,
Kate
Netflix said
Blanchett.
it's their number one Netflix movie in the Netflix world.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
Kate
number one.
Blanchett.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, Kate Blanchett's great in it.
Yeah.
Special effects were pretty good. How about the scenes that were happening during the end credits? That was like some Interstellar stuff. Looked great.
Did you just say Interstellar?
Yeah.
Stop.
I just compared.
Just stop.
I mean, the Earth being destroyed is great. It's a great theme. You know, asteroids, comets, that stuff looked great. I love that, you know?
Ian in chat, former producer of the show, says, quote, "I didn't even finish."
Not his first time.
All right, there's nothing else to talk about. Let's get on with the show.
We have to finally get to Jurassic Park. 100th episode. We felt like this was a perfect pick for the 100th episode before we venture on into a bold new future for this podcast. Pardo, are you ready to get us prepared for this discussion?
Paleobotanist Ellie Sattler and paleontologist Alan Grant are invited by John Hammond, a wealthy white guy, to visit a mysterious theme park on an island near Costa Rica. What they find when they arrive is the impossible living, breathing dinosaurs. Taking blood preserved within mosquitoes, Hammond's scientists have been able to extract dino DNA and unextinct a smorgasbord of killer carnivores and herd them behind electrical fences. But when something goes wrong, namely allowing children into an incomplete dinosaur cloning facility, the ethics of cloning, genetic engineering, and the ability to escape being eaten alive come into question. Hold on to your butts, because life is about to find a way. All this and more in Jurassic Park.
We are going to try a little bit of a different format for this roundtable discussion. And each host, as to kind of set the stage for the discussion, each host is going to come up with 3 main points that they took down from this film. And then we'll have some honorable mentions before we give our final Letterboxd review rating. We usually start the segment with kind of asking if anyone has like a deeper history. And I don't think I or maybe Proto does. But Danny, I feel like this movie...
I don't have no
I
deep history with this film.
I can't think of like, you know, like a ton of like fun memories sitting back and watching this. I have memories of seeing it when I was a kid and, you know, knowing of Jurassic Park, et cetera, but I don't have any kind of like solidified memories. Am I wrong? Do you not have something similar, Danny?
I have vivid memories of seeing a trailer for this somewhere, either on a VHS or, you know, one of the channels we were watching as a kid, and then seeing Times in a newspaper and begging the hell out of my father to take me to see this film. Now, at the time, 93, I was 11, so too young to see this film. But my dad gave in because I was relentless about begging to see this film. And he took me to see, me and him, Jurassic Park. I remember sitting in the theater, these disgusting red canvas seats. And
Wow.
I probably needed to, I had to piss like 20 times in this film. I was terrified out of my mind.
Wow.
Like absolutely scared. My father even asked if we wanted to leave. And I said no, as I was like crying through tears, like, no, I don't want to leave. This was a terrifying movie for me as a kid.
Spielberg does it again.
So I have a very vivid memory of seeing this in the theaters.
Can you imagine the negative iTunes reviews we'll get from me saying I don't have any vivid memories of Jurassic Park growing up? It's over for us.
For you, maybe.
It's over for me.
I'm going to get other podcast
I need
offers.
to tag in Ian again.
Not to bring up Lost World right off the bat.
Let's do it. Let's pivot.
But I had a tie-dye Lost World t-shirt. It was just like tie-dye and then just the logo on the shirt. I wore that shirt until it was shredded.
Oh, baby.
That was like my favorite shirt. I think my mom just one day had to like take it out of the wash and throw it away because I never wanted to get rid of it. That's my earliest memory of Jurassic Park. I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I remember that shirt, and I remember watching it on VHS all the time. I can still see it. The old, old TV. Shooter! This is a classic movie where I had no idea what was going on in this movie as a kid. Mm-hmm. And I had revelations at like every stage of my life as I rewatched this. It was like, oh, this guy owns the park. Oh, okay. Like there was like that new. I had no understanding as a kid.
Shooter. Also, the logos and stuff just popped into my mind. Like when I was a kid, if you had a Jurassic Park T-shirt, like you were instantly cool. It was like before there was like, at least in my opinion, Jurassic Park merch everywhere. Like if you were a kid during our age, if you had like a Return of the Jedi shirt, you kind of like knew like, oh, you're like me.
Yeah.
And I think it was like less mainstream, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It was signaling to other nerds.
Mm-hmm. And now you can get a Jurassic Park T-shirt anywhere.
I mean, how good is that logo though? Chip Kidd drew that dino skeleton, and it's just classic. I mean, it's forever. Lives on forever. How perfect it is.
Chip Kidd, where are you? Come on the show. Talk to us.
Carl Sagan should have put that in the satellite that they shot into space.
I'll start my list of main points first, if I may, please.
Please.
So I got 3 main items. What is going on with Jeff Goldblum's tongue in this movie?
Excuse me. His tongue.
I mean, his tongue.
Talk to us.
I'm not sure if anyone else caught it on this viewing. I watched it. Everyone doing the drinking game. I watched it in 4K.
Oh,
it looked amazing. But Jeff Goldblum's tongue is doing like aerobics almost in every scene that he's in. I'm not sure if he was going for something. I don't know if he does that normally. I know he's like Jeff Goldblum quote, but he was doing some crazy stuff with his tongue in this movie. Did you see that, Danny?
No. But now I'm probably never going to unsee it when I watch this film again. If I'm going to be staring at his tongue instead of his nipples.
It's when I think he says, where it's like, he's like,
dangerously, but
there it is.
Oh, there it is.
He's like a frog when he flicks that thing. See, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. The screenshots are coming to the chat.
Yeah.
So that was the other Goldblum point that I just wanted to put a bow on.
Okay.
Obviously, he's the star of this movie. Next to Alan Grant.
Obviously the star. Okay.
But when he walks in front of that pile of poop, and it looks like he's trying to seduce the poop.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That strut he was doing, Proto, you notice that?
He is a sexual creature through and through.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole lip licking thing that he does with his tongue. Yeah, it's a sexual signal that he's giving off, not just, to women, but to everyone. Even inanimate objects.
Even poop.
Even a pile
He's out of control.
crap. He's got to give off the pheromones to the feces.
Stop.
I can't. Danny doesn't have enough hot tea.
I've already got a hot tea to survive
from
this.
that.
God.
Cripes alive.
Yeah, his game with Ellie in the Jeep while Grant's sitting right there.
No shame.
He unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Future Mrs. X Malcolm.
All right, Proto, what's on yours?
First thing on my list was, this is a Spielberg movie, and he, in so many of his movies, he just knows how to set the stage for a movie and to draw you in and kind of like lay it all out as to what's going on. And I was just thinking about the beginning of this. It starts with 4 scenes, different parts of the world. And he kind of sets up everything, that you're first on the island. He sets up the danger. You see them trying to put the raptor in the cage, and things go wrong there. And then you see the science when the lawyer goes to the cave and they're digging. And then you see Ellie and you see Alan Grant, the heroes. And then you even see Nedry, who is the villain and, the antagonist in this and who's going to cause all the issues on the park. And just setting up all those characters, the way it moves through each one of those, it's so interesting and so like just draws you in. And I just think of so many Spielberg movies where he does that so well, where in the first 10 minutes, this is, it can be a complicated story, but he's able to just simplify it and introduce all these characters and make them so colorful and different and interesting. I just love the setup of this.
Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, first thing that comes to mind, Amblin-esque, is probably that Goonies intro, like you were talking about, the Spielberg-related movies.
Very related.
Same thing. All right, Danny, what's your first one?
My first note is basically around a scene that I feel is probably one of my favorites in the film. It's everybody else's. It's not everyone's favorite, but it's a moment when the Jeep pulls up with Ellie and Grant and Ian, and they see the Brachiosaurus for the first time.
Yeah.
And the music is kicking in. Every time I see this scene, I sit back and I think dinosaurs are real. It's so believable that this could happen. Like even the science behind what they tell us how they made dinosaurs feels so simple and doable that this whole film, I feel like this can be done. Even if the science is completely bogus, the way they explain it to me feels real. So when I get to this scene, and I feel like I always have the same reaction that Ellie has, the face when Grant turns her head. I mean, it's always shock and awe and wonder. And you are seeing these scientists have like a real reaction to what they've studied their entire life. They knew they would never see as a real life dinosaur. And it's so wild, but it's so believable. And they look over the ridge and they're in herds and they're in the water, and John Williams' score is just kicking in, and it's complete movie magic. And that's the very beginning of this damn film. And it's like, there's so many of these little vignettes that are just perfection.
The acting from Sam and Laura in that scene has to be perfect too. And it is.
Has to be.
And it just looks legit still.
It really does.
I will say that the 4K, the Bronchiosaurus was a little dated.
Yeah.
It's fine. We don't have to.
It's expected.
We don't have to spend time on it. We don't have to dwell on it.
If that Brachiosaurus looked perfect, I would have been shocked.
Sure. 100%.
There's no way. There's no way they were fixing that for the 4K.
How about the puppetry in this thing?
Yeah.
It's
Stan Winston.
Oh my God.
Legend.
Yeah.
Like even like when the T-Rex head's coming in there, all that stuff looks so cool. I wish
ridiculous.
let's go back. Let's bring it all back, Berto. Bring more puppetry.
That's what really blew my mind is when I was thinking about this, I don't think I ever, while watching this, especially as a kid when it first came out, I never thought that the dinosaurs looked fake or like anything about them wasn't real. I was in complete suspension of belief in that moment of just like, this is happening. Like these are dinosaurs. There was nothing that I was seeing that I didn't trust. The only thing that probably the weakest point to me is when they're in the tree and it has just the head of the dinosaur because they're so close to it. And it's like, all right, that's not real. But everything else I feel like looks so good. The way the raptors move, even when they're in that field. And I know that was like CG, like that looks amazing for 1993. Like incredible.
And you mean the field where the Gallimimus are running toward them? What's wild about that scene is when you watch some of the behind the scenes, because them actually creating the CG running dinosaurs was like a new thing ILM, Dennis Muren had to do for this film. I mean, they were actually gonna do stop motion puppets for the dinosaurs. And when Steven shot that scene, he ran with a handy cam. And so it was completely shaking. And they were like, there's no way we can have running dinosaurs with your shaking camera. We've never done this before. And they did it. And it looks amazing still.
I can't imagine how this is like the first time they pulled it off and it still looks this good considering how old it is.
If you tap the time to watch the 2-hour Return to Jurassic Park documentary, it's fascinating that they were at the point where they are creating stop animation with these little clay dinosaurs. And Dennis Muren from ILM was like, I think I can do this with CG. Give me a chance. And he does a CG T-Rex and blows everybody's minds. And so they pivot from claymation to CG and then the giant puppets. And then that's what they go with, like on the spot.
It's also pretty bonkers that this could have been claymation puppets.
Right?
Like what?
And they show footage of it and it is so bad. It's scary bad. What they were trying to put through. But yeah, it's wild. The groundbreaking stuff that they had to do for this film.
Daniel and chat just posted a behind the scenes photo of the T-Rex with like the crew underneath it. It looks awesome.
Oh, it's life size. I mean, it's a 1-to-1 scale.
Do they have like that anywhere? Like a prop?
If it's anywhere, it's probably going to be at Lucasfilm. But you mean like the actual puppet itself?
Yeah, like the real T-Rex.
I don't think it survived because when they were filming, Stan Winston didn't. When they were making the skin of the dinosaur, they didn't anticipate that the scene on the paddock was going to have rain, and so the skin of the dinosaur is like a foam, and so as it rained, it like sponged up the foam, and the dinosaur got heavier and heavier and heavier as it went on. And they were showing some scenes where the weight of the water was making it almost look like the dinosaur had chills, like he couldn't hold together. So I don't think it survived after filming. I'd be amazed if it was still in existence.
It's in Spielberg's garage.
Number 2 on my list, let's see. We didn't even talk about him really, but Alan Grant. I am getting like super strong Indiana Jones vibes from him in this movie. Yeah. He's like another alternate universe Indiana Jones, I feel like. He's wearing the hat, obviously, and he's got his feet up. Maybe an homage to Indiana. I'm not sure. You tell me. With that hat down, he's trying to take a little nappy poo in that helicopter.
Can you imagine a crossover? Grant and Indy?
Oh my
Indy
God.
5, Alan Grant meets Indiana Jones.
IDW comic books.
Call us.
Are you listening?
That's a great point. This really, it feels like it's a home run. The whole scientist or professor, turned adventurer. That's such a, it's so much fun between Alan Grant and Indiana Jones. Why aren't we getting more of that? But just don't cast Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, God. Stop. See, now you put it out there.
Or Chris Pratt.
Stop.
Or Ryan Reynolds. Or Timothy Chalamet.
I'm hating all
or
this.
What's Josh
Channing
Gad
Tatum.
doing? Can we get Josh Gad?
Actually, I don't think there's anybody who can play the role anymore. That's the problem. Maybe that's the problem.
That's not
Oscar
true.
Isaac, Paul suggests in chat.
OI? Is he doing this?
Oh, I can do it.
That's what I call
Does
him.
anyone call him that, or you just make that up on the spot?
That's what I call. I've always called him that.
Oh my God.
Check the tapes.
Yeah, we'll check him.
But in short, love him in this movie. And yeah, the scientist adventurer, I feel like the only place where scientist adventures live in television format is like on TBS. What was that like librarian television show? That's all. That's where they go now. That's where they go to die. You know, I watch them on my in-laws where they have the SD version of TBS on all day long.
Feel sick.
But what's number 2 on your list?
Probably my favorite character in this is it's Nedry. Dennis Nedry.
My.
Don't get cheap on me, Dotson.
I say that all the time. His desk, his whole workstation, his vibe, pure chaos theory. But I love it. I wish I could even figure out how to get to a level to operate my life in that way of just, being a genius, but then also a complete slob at the same time, bringing those things together. And then also just the idea that this one guy is programming the entire network for this park. Like this thing.
Insane.
Like how much did this park cost?
A lot of bad
decisions. Like $1 billion, and you've got like 10 people running the whole thing.
I mean, not even. It's really just Samuel L. Jackson and Wayne Knight. They're running
It's
everything.
Yeah.
What happens if they're both sick? It's over.
It's
Shut
over.
The park down?
We see what happens when one disappears.
I think we have to flip the breakers. I don't know.
Yeah, flip the breakers. We'll see if everything comes back in an hour. Wipe the whole mainframe. That's how we fix this.
Proto, do you know the fan theory about Nedry being dressed as 3 different Goonies the entire film?
No.
So when he's sitting there with Dodson, he's dressed like Chunk in his Hawaiian shirt. And then when he has his gray jacket over the polo, he's dressed like Mouth. And then when he throws the vest, rain jacket on, he's dressed like Mikey.
That is awesome.
So he's like 3 Goonies in one.
Oh my gosh.
Chunk. It should have been Chunk. My king.
King Chunk.
American icon Chunk. Yeah, the idea like this is like treated like a startup is pretty funny. How about they decided not to have locks on the doors
So stupid.
of the cars? Like, I mean, Hammond, could you have made any more wrong decisions in planning this part
100%.
whatsoever? I also thought it was funny how like the kids showed up and even Laura Dern was just like excited to see the kids at this park that's not even barely operable with dinosaurs like in cages. Like, come on, Laura, like somebody have some sense that these kids should not be here at all. Danny, what's number 2 on your list?
Top scene in all of some cinema. I'm going to throw it out there. The T-Rex paddock scene. This scene is so captivating from beginning to end. Even when you question how there's a giant cliff for a car to fall down and yet the T-Rex walks over the wall just fine. Like, we don't have to question all that right now. But I can't get over the kids in this scene. Their performance of fearing this T-Rex. I believe it every time I watch this film. The mud on the ground when they're getting squashed stresses me out. Grant just stepping out with a flare. I mean, that's the biggest boss move ever. He's seeing a T-Rex for the first time in his life, and he's going to confront it, knowing that he's heard stories that a T-Rex is based on movement, and he's just going to risk it all. That's one of the most incredible things ever. And then Ian screws it up, like always, chaos theory. But man, that scene is so good.
Yeah.
And I always get so excited when it's the puppet. That T-Rex puppet, we talked about it earlier, but I can't get over how good it is in person, up close, when she's shining the light in the eye and the eye dilates or it squints. It's just ridiculous. And then when it comes through the roof of the Explorer, it's just pure terror. And it gets me every time. I mean, that paddock scene is hands down one of the best scenes Spielberg's ever done.
Yeah, that's an iconic scene. One of my notes on it was about how the kids are flipped over and being crushed into the mud, and the camera shifts to them in the other car. They still haven't even moved yet. They're still frozen. Like, oh my God, let's get a move on here, boys. They're about to get eaten.
They're watching
I'm shocked
T-Rex
they haven't already.
like come through the roof at the kids, and they're just wiping the fog off the window like it's nothing. It's so
Come on,
funny.
get moving.
But that scene is so good. It's so good. I mean, it even leads into, Laura finding Ian under the palm trees, and the chase after that is still amazing. I mean, it's just That whole segment is such an amazing moment.
Mm-hmm. One of my notes too about that was, and it kind of covers through the rest of the movie, even in the, I think Bex called out the industrial kitchen. Like, there are so many moments where these kids could have just been eaten in 2 seconds
100%.
flat.
Yes.
Like the kitchen scene where Alan disappears to find Laura Dern, and they're like coming up with a plan, and they still leave the kids, and they're fighting a raptor for 10 minutes.
2.
Like, you are so lucky that these kids didn't get their heads eaten off in the last 10 minutes and you just appear. It's just so bonkers.
Yeah, this time, even that scene with the T-Rex of like why they haven't moved out of the car, I think like the sheer terror you would feel seeing a creature, 2-3 stories tall, wanting to eat you. Like, that is just so insane. And I think it's more insane in this because we've seen like, you see monster movies and whatnot, but just that these things actually existed.
Right.
And here they are right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
My other point was the scene where Laura Dern and Crocodile Dundee have to go to the breaker room. Man, that scene was that like terrified me as a kid. Like the tension in that, and I jumped again when the dinosaur or when the raptor jumps out at her when she turns everything back on.
So good.
Yeah, it's just so like to think like this movie has so many intense scenes like that are iconic and work so well. Is amazing.
Yeah, this works pretty well into my third and final one, but I referenced this in a Letterboxd show when talking about Gremlins, and we talked about it when we watched Jaws. But Amblin makes these movies that are somehow like horror movies for kids. It's like all ages adventure horror movies. And I feel like it doesn't exist anymore. It's like this company and Steven Spielberg were the only people to have ever been able to figure out how to make movies like this and make them successful. Because Jaws was like that, Gremlins is like that, and this is, but they've become like family movies. Or, maybe kids saw them when they came out and maybe they shouldn't have, and then brought them to their kids. And maybe it's just some kind of weird circle, but I don't know. There's just not more movies like that today.
Yeah, I feel like E.T. is even like that. That's probably like even, it leans more towards being, kid friendly, but that's pretty intense
Still
at different
creepy.
parts too.
Yeah. Very, very intense moments in that film.
A gift.
Spielberg, come back to us, please. Enough of this.
Enough West Side Story.
The West Side Story is still a horror movie.
Okay, third point from Proto.
Oh, that was my third one.
Oh,
but something else. Oh, I mean, I said this before. This is like the most quotable movie ever, too. There's so many good lines in this. And there's actually some really funny lines that are just benefit from amazing delivery. The scene where Jeff Goldblum is talking to Hammond through the camera. He's like, so there's going to be dinosaurs, and he's blowing on the glass, and then he's just Hammond's on the other side.
I really hate that man.
Like as it zooms in on his face, just perfect.
The trainer just posted the quote where the lawyer asks, "Are these characters autoerotica?" I've never seen that scene before.
Really?
I definitely caught it on this view.
Cringes every time.
Danny, what's your third note for Jurassic Park this viewing?
We went over for, quick, but the kitchen scene. These kids, just one of the most intense moments. I mean, I can't get over how well these kids portrayed fear in this film. I mean, maybe because they're actually facing these giant puppets that look like real damn dinosaurs that are terrifying. But that whole kitchen scene with Timmy limping and her hiding in the reflection of the oven or the cabinet or whatever that is, that bait and switch is still so good. I love the feet tapping on the ground, the raptor toe.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like this is obviously a puppet, but I still love it. I would prefer having that than some CG walking around. But
it's like the reverse Kermit the Frog cowboy boots gif.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that whole scene every time it's still perfect. Even the chase, getting out of that to the control room, and her being the one to know a Unix computer and get the locks back on, crawling through the roof. When she falls out of the hole, oh my gosh, I cringe every time. I know she gets away, but the raptor jumping back up at her gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We didn't mention it, but how about Tim getting electrocuted and thrown 50 feet?
Should be dead.
Across the park.
Should be dead.
He's dead. There's no way.
There's no way.
100% dead.
Tiny Tim died.
Just jump down, Tim.
Yeah, just
Please.
jump.
God,
He actually
it's
could have
like
fit
5
through
feet.
those holes too. He didn't have to climb over.
My wife said the same thing. We were watching that scene.
Yeah,
they
sure,
just
Alan.
climb
You can't
through.
get your fat head through it, but Tim can fit his whole body.
Tim could have went through 100 times by the time they climbed down. Honorable mention for me before my final thoughts and rating. Let me see what I had here. I had 65 million years separate man and dinosaur. There's a line in there about how things would be unpredictable if you just put these things together. 65 million years.
Estimate.
It's like your brain can't even comprehend how long of a time frame that is.
Mm-mm.
Like, I mean, what is even going to be in human park, where they like bring us back? Like, what creatures, Proto, are going to be there cloning us and bringing us there? Can you imagine?
Wow. That's a
great
disturbing
question.
thought.
Proto Dispatch.
That's a very
Episode
sick
2.
thought.
Yeah, I just think it's such a crazy long time frame. Obviously, this is a 5-star movie. Obvi. I had a great time watching it. If you can track down the 4K, it looks great. It's just such a fun viewing. It's silliness how good this movie is, which is very sad to see how Lost World turned out. And no, we will not be doing a Lost World episode. If Danny chooses Lost World for next episode, I quit. Proto, final thoughts, honorable mentions for Jurassic Park.
I just wanted to say that, every time I watch this, I feel like I see something new or hear a new line that I'd never heard before. And this time, I always had thought when they're in the Jeeps and they're going to the T-Rex paddock, and the car stops, I always thought that Sam Neill says, "I wet that touch." I wet that touch.
What?
And I would think about it all the time. And I was like, what does "I wet that touch" mean? I wet that touch. Like, did he feel something and he thought he stopped the car? It's only this time that I realized he said, "What did I touch?" It was a big moment for me.
Amazing.
This movie is it's a treasure. One of America's greatest treasures.
Oh my!
Thank you, Steven Spielberg. Yeah, it's 5 stars. I won't even really know how to rate it differently. It's it's ingrained within me. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
Honorable mentions: Muldoon's trip in this film. The man never skips a leg day. I cannot stop looking at his thighs.
I did have a note.
I can't get over
about
him.
his shorts and his compass watch. I wrote down.
Insane. I always love the belt buckle, tying the 2 female belt buckles, finding a way. It's a great foreshadow. This is a 5-star movie. I love this movie dearly. I could do art for it all day long. It doesn't get much better than this. I mean, it still holds on as one of the greatest films ever. And Spielberg, I just love him. And so, 5 stars.
15 banger.
We did it. 15 bangers.
15 banger for 100th app.
Never in doubt.
There's people asking for the art in chat. There are people asking for the art in chat.
Oh, Lord. Okay,
He's
hold
chewing
on.
the lozenge.
Very bold. Very
Getting
bold
ready
with
to
Danny this
upload
week.
it.
I went brave.
Let's see. While Danny is getting that, we have some emails and VMs to
Jeff.
get to before we get to Danny's pick.
Bare-chested Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You can leave us an email or a VM at 70mmpod.com. We accept both, obviously. Let me see here. Who do we want to listen to first? Let's get to Marcy. Marcy sent a VM.
Let's hear it.
Hello, 70 millimeter. It's Marcy. We're here. We finally did it. It's my Hercules redemption. Thank you guys so much. This was so kind of you to give me this. And oh, wait. This is for everybody. My bad. Sorry. Trying to delete. Sorry.
Wow.
Guys, Jurassic Park, it's the best movie of all time. It is the greatest movie. there's nothing else like it. It's the best. So, I love this movie and I love Jeff Goldblum. You're all aware of this. So I thought I would do my best Jeff Goldblum impression from this movie, specifically when he is on the helicopter.
My God.
The man is wearing his own turquoise in this movie. Name me one other person that can do that. You can't. Okay, I hope the star ratings go well for this. If not, I will be the one moving into the forest and you guys can have Proto back. Okay, can't wait for this episode. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
How Marcy's mic in that VM? Anyone else notice the quality of that audio?
Something's brewing up.
I didn't want to say, but
something is cooking.
Something's cooking.
Could we be close to something?
Closing in.
The art has been dropped. Was there any doubt?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone else suggested that could be the art. I was pretty shocked.
I was waiting for it. Maybe it was too on the nose.
Maybe. Jada Kiss says they did. All right, let's see. We got a email from Connor. Let's see here. A quick-ish note, Connor says. Hold on, let me take a drink of water first.
Drink some water.
Dear 70mm Pod, what's up, guys? This is Colburn from the Discord Patreon. I haven't been too vocal in the Discord as of late, or really ever. One might say I'm your classic lurker. Let me interject. You're free to lurk at any time in our Discord. We accept lurkers. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I've been online for almost 2 decades now, and I've always felt somewhat awkward in online communities. I guess I've never felt successful in translating my IRL personality online. With that said, the 70mm Discord is profoundly accommodating space filled with genuine people seeking real connection. On its face, a group of strangers, at least at first, discussing movies seems lighthearted and low stakes, small talk over a cup of coffee. But as was immediately clear when I joined after listening to Proto's red-hot diatribe against DreamWorks' monstrosity that was Shrek, movies are personal things. See episode 91 and related fallout. A movie can be a bridge between dreams and reality, a potent tonic of one's inner experience and outward reality. In the same 3-hour, 55-minute banger, one gets the magic of Rivendell, the music of Howard Shore, and the wisdom of Samwise Gamgee. Quote, but in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even as a lurker, I've gained a great deal from this community. Thank you for creating, nurturing, and sometimes shaking it to its core. It's not all that serious after all. Though I do fear for us as a going concern if Jurassic Park hits anything but a 15-banger, looking at you, Proto. Here's to a 2022 packed with movies and a growing 70mm community. That's from Colburn.
Wow.
Thank you, Colburn.
Amazing.
Thank you, man.
Episode 91. What episode was that, I wonder? Can't ring. Doesn't ring
Don't
a
look
bell.
it up.
It's not listed.
Nobody
I don't
look
know.
it up to see
Did
what
we
episode
pull that
91 was.
Yeah, my
Please. It's not worth looking up. Andy Stone leaving a VM.
My gosh.
Hey, Slim, Proto, and Danny. This is Andy from San Diego, and I'm so happy that you're covering Jurassic Park for the anniversary episode. I hope that everyone else is calling in tonight to talk about the amazing music, the tight plot, how great the dinosaurs still look 25 years later. But there's something else that actually stood out for me this time. I really think that Jurassic Park just might be the best designed film of all time. Of course, there's the costumes and set pieces that we all love. Like, how great is that main compound, or the stained glass in the dining room? For me, though, it's really looking outside of the full sets and buildings. It's the small design details that'll forever be iconic in this movie. The Jurassic Park logo from Chip Kidd is just incredible. Yep. I've always wanted one of those Jeeps or Ford Explorers. There's the Barbasol cans, Nedry's password screens, the night vision goggles, and of course, the main typeface that'll forever be associated with this movie. I don't know. You just can't ever see that and not think of Jurassic Park. Anyway, this has been a wild year for everyone, really. But I wanted to thank you guys and everyone in the community for making it a lot better. I'm so glad I get to wrap up 2021 with the Villagers. You're all my favorite. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Andy.
Holy cow.
Is that Andy's first VM?
I think
or did he
so.
have VM earlier?
It's perfect.
How about the pink pastel shirts that the
What a choice.
people on the island? Yeah, what a
choice. My gosh.
I also loved how like all those extras that were in the movie just seemed like extras. Like they had they would not be capable of delivering a line in that movie whatsoever if they had to.
Not with that. Not with those haircuts.
And the mustaches too.
Amazing.
We have let's hear from our other Andy, our Apex brethren.
What is up, 70 millimeter? It is Andy calling. I apologize for the background music. I am currently at Topgolf, but I wanted to call in to congratulate you guys on episode 100. It's obvious Jurassic Park is a 5-star movie, so just want to welcome Jurassic Park to the 15-star club. But I also just want to thank you guys for what you guys have created. This podcast is amazing. I love it. Look forward to listening to every week, the episodes and whatnot. And the VHS community is great. And so just thank you for that. I want to share my favorite memories, my highlights from each of the hosts. So, starting off with Danny. Danny, of course, the origin of our relationship was the Rogue One episode and my voicemail talking about how I didn't like it. And so that, that's the highlight of our friendship.
That's the highlight of our friendship.
The first time you gave a movie a garbanzo bean made me laugh out loud. I was in the middle of a grocery store and I just started laughing out loud like a crazy person. And then Slim, welcome. Just all of your impressions. I got to give it to you, man. I crack up. I die laughing every time you do one of your impressions.
Indication.
And so I just do more of them. If I can request a Matthew McConaughey impression right now, that'd be awesome. But love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Dance monkey.
That's a shame. He should have requested it, and rather than just asked, because you probably would have done it if he did request it.
I was gonna say, when you send a voice memo from an Apple phone, it like tags your location. So the file that Andy sent just said topgolf.mp3. Frost yourself. God, remember that? It took me forever to find that clip. I don't know what episode I added that in, but I had to find a YouTube clip of him doing that dumb line. It was worth it. People listening, was it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Lex coming in. Dear 70mm boys, congratulations on 100 episodes. You guys have been consistently funny, consistently insightful, and consistently influential for me specifically, seeing as I probably wouldn't have started my own podcast if it wasn't for you boys.
Wow.
For that gift in particular, I thank the three of you from the bottom of my heart. Here's to 100 more. That's from Lex. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. Valentine. I think it's Valentine or Valentine. I guess Valentine.
I like Valentine.
Lex, sure.
Sounds like
Lex
a villain.
Lex, good for Lex. I think Lex, didn't he make it through like all the Spider-Man movies in his podcast?
If I remember correctly, Lex did a podcast on the new Far From Home, the Spidey Signals podcast, and I think it was like 4 hours long.
Goodness.
Was it long enough? Was it enough?
I don't know if it was enough.
Was it enough? No Way Home. Sorry. I wasn't a troll.
You'll never get it right, trainer.
Home 3. Spidey Home 3. He did a 4-hour episode.
God.
So if you're looking for more Spidey content with a capital C, now is the time. Oh my God.
What the hell?
Sorry, Eric just posted another nightmare picture in chat.
It's like Sloth from
Is that
Goonies.
Nedry on his chest, or is that... I can't even tell anymore.
Cut the stream.
All right, focus up here. Got to focus up. Let's get to another VM here. It's a big app. We got one from someone who might know what episode 91 was.
Hey, 70mm, it is H. And I just wanted to call in and say thank you and congratulations. Holy moly, 100
we did it.
Episodes. A third of a paper keg. That is just an incredibly impressive achievement. You guys at it every week, especially with all the free episodes you guys are doing just for the patrons. Like, you guys are just blowing it out of the water.
21 episodes.
And as always, you are the gold standard by which all other film podcasts are measured.
Gosh.
So I just want to say, for me personally, it's the #1 show. It's the first one I listen to every week. And it's just, you guys are the best. So thank you. Keep doing it. Keep going. We love you guys so much. Happy for all your success. Let's keep going. Rock it out. Ciao.
H.
Thank you, H.
Co-host of the Dune Pod podcast. Did you see that he buddied up with Ian, former producer of this show, to go see Licorice Pizza?
Unreal.
The movie theater? They went to go see it together.
What a date.
They looked great.
Yeah.
I think Ian posted his 5-star review before the movie even finished, so I'm not sure how much you can trust his review, to be honest.
Look for H's review.
Thank you, H. Let's get to next VM.
What's up, 70mm? This is Fam. Wanted to congratulate you guys on 100 episodes. The movie this week being Jurassic Park. This movie for me was probably one of the first big summer blockbusters that I can remember seeing as a kid. Just a lot of hype, a lot of advertising for it, a lot of push for it. I remember going in there in the theater, just the packed house crowd opening weekend. I feel like this movie's big about discovery in the sense of when, the lead actors catch the dinosaurs for the first time, we're actually seeing them for the first time too. And, they were in awe, and I think the audience was in awe too, of just seeing dinosaurs move like that on the screen. Just the computer graphics, just from where, we've come in, film and cinema to realistic looking, or realistic at the time looking creatures that are just on the screen. A lot of good iconic scenes in this movie. You've got R.I.P. Raptor guy. He got it in the end, but he did the best he could. Jeff Goldblum looking like a Greek god, chest out, doing all that. The Tyrannosaurus Rex scene was iconic. A lot of the night vision, just the rain, the mud, everything going on. You feel like you're actually being chased kind of deal. It was great. The vibrations in the water, it just came off really, really well. But I super enjoyed this movie. It's definitely up there for me. I kind of wish they didn't do others, but I did enjoy this one. But I appreciate you guys. Congratulations on 100. And here's the next 100. And also Rogue One is a 5-star movie. Okay, bye.
Don't dare us to do another Rogue One episode, fam.
We'll do it. We'll do it again.
We'll go back.
Our finger is on the button.
Mm-hmm. We'll do it.
We need to innovate at this podcast, and by God, we'll do it if we have to.
Wants to see if we'll give it 5 stars. You want to go there? See if it'll happen?
I dare you.
By the way, that ripple in the water scene, they couldn't get the ripple right, so they put a guitar string in the dash of the truck and strummed it.
Whoa.
To get the ripple.
Gotta do what it takes.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Fam was at a Orlando Magic basketball game recently. Did we talk about that cool thing that you did for the Magic recently?
Did we? Yeah, we painted some Ahsoka Tano basketballs and Star Wars Night at the Magic, and we auctioned them all for charity. A good, fun night. Hung out with Ashley Eckstein for a bit, and family was there. Had a great time.
Imagine Ashley coming on the show to do Alice in Wonderland.
She would definitely do Alice in Wonderland.
Do we know anyone that knows Ashley that can make this happen?
I need to make a call.
Can we make some calls?
Ashley, you listening?
All right, here we go. Let's see. A little bit of a long email, so if I'm going a little faster, don't think I'm a big jerk. This comes from Rob. Hold on, let me take a drink first.
Sip it.
Ashley, by the way, don't listen to our Rogue One episode, please.
Just listen to my part.
I can send you just Danny's track. Dear 70mm, it's been a wild and wonderful year since I first discovered the pod and the village, and through you have covered so many movies that I love. I felt compelled to write in for this first one, not only because it is your 100th episode, but because Jurassic Park feels like it is so tightly interwoven with my history and identity. I was 4 when this movie came out, and when I learned of its existence a few years later, dinosaurs were already all I cared about. My dad eventually got me a copy of it on the latest cutting-edge technology, Laserdisc. I had to go ask for help flipping and changing these record-sized DVDs every time I wanted to watch this movie because my dad didn't trust me with the overly sensitive discs. After each viewing, I would emerge from the basement as a bloodthirsty velociraptor to chase my sisters around the house and slowly open doors with my head. To interject, Danny, do you have a Laserdisc of Jurassic Park?
No, just Star Wars. And Aliens.
Aliens. I didn't know you had Aliens.
Too, yeah.
Fast forward to 3 years ago when I finally got to see this movie on the big screen at the Hollywood Bowl with a live orchestra, while at the Alf Museum of Paleontology as their resident science illustrator. Excuse me. I'm one of those kids that never grew out of their dino phase, and this film has so much to do with that. It's difficult for me, as it is with any paleo artist, to not nitpick dinosaurs in pop culture. But with this film, all is forgiven because of the cloud of nostalgia. No, because this is truly a great film. Even for one of the best directors of our time, Jurassic Park's pacing, musical cues, scene composition, character development, and special effects are masterful. I know this film down to the slightest background noise, and yet I'm still on the edge of my seat during the fence climbing scene. I am moved to tears every single time the brachiosaur shows up at the beginning. The slow, almost Jaws-type reveal of the velociraptors, the sound design of each and every dinosaur is magnificent. It's also by far some of the best representation of dinosaurs to this day while being out of date scientifically. The choice to end the film with a shot of the brown pelican, a living avian dinosaur, is a masterstroke and gets me every time.
Baby.
I don't want to sully this great night with talk of lesser films, but this movie succeeds on so many levels that have nothing to do with how many screaming, murderous dino monsters they can squeeze on screen with Chris Pratt. I think the new films would be served by going back and listening to what Grant says in The Tree, even after surviving the encounter with the T-Rex. Quote, "They're not monsters, Lex, they're animals." Thank you so much for everything you do and keeping me company on long days in the studio this year and for creating such a vibrant, welcoming community. The Village is truly special. I listen to a ton of podcasts, but never seen anything like what you three have inspired to grow here.
Wow.
Sincerely, Raptor Rob. P.S. A question we don't ask enough these days. What are each of your favorite dinosaurs, extinct ancient animals? Thank you, Rob, for the very kind email.
My goodness. I was always a Stegosaurus fan.
Stegosaurus.
Love the Stegosaurus. The plates, the tail with the spikes.
Yeah.
Big Stego
Remember
fan.
Spike from Land Before Time?
Are we doing? Oh my God. Can you imagine Land Before Time?
Littlefoot.
Oof.
Littlefoot.
I remember this Land Before Time. The only thing I really remember about that is that big clamshell VHS box, that obnoxiously large
I have
box.
a regular VHS of it.
Danny just looked around his office as if he has it.
I
behind the
do.
monitor.
I don't have the clamshell. That's what I was looking to see if mine was the clamshell.
Perdo, do you have one?
I've always liked pterodactyls.
Ooh, good choice.
I was a big fan of the Jurassic Park 3 scene. They get their moment in Jurassic Park 3. Good,
Delete that movie.
great scene. Love it.
Tay Leone, what have you done?
Come back.
I don't think I have one. I'm not going to just name one to be,
Okay, but just name one.
Triceratops.
Okay, pick another.
Thank you, Rob. Very kind of you.
Yes, thanks, Rob. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was
There's
great.
one from Catcher in here. Let me see if I have it.
Oh,
Might
no.
accidentally lost it. Thought Catcher emailed in here. Here he is. Catcher co-host of the Cinenauts podcast, which I tweeted recently. I mean, is there any other movies that focus on the Criterion Collection but have temporarily pivoted to cover Sex and the City?
No other podcast could do that.
The innovation happening right now at Tape Deck.
It's amazing.
Never been done. Catcher says, I can still remember when you three first announced the show. Finally, I thought, a podcast about movies. And here you are at 100 episodes, a feat most podcasts only dream of getting to. But for you, 300 episodes is just the beginning. All art is subjective. Each person comes to it on their own terms. It either works for you or it doesn't. For dozens and dozens and hundreds of people, this show resonates with them. It brings them joy. It gives them community. It lets them engage, and it makes them think. What more could ask of the art you make? Congratulations, boys. Savor this. It's just the beginning. Love, Catcher. P.S. You three genuinely inspire me every day, so please never stop.
My gosh.
What a kind
thanks, Catch.
comment from Catcher. Thank you, Catcher. Little known facts, most podcasts don't get past 7 episodes.
Is that real? That's a real
It's a
fact?
podcast stat for you.
7 episodes.
the crying gif in chat. Thank you, Catcher. We love you. Let's see who we have left here.
Hi, guys. It's Hannah. First time calling in. And I am so excited you guys are covering Jurassic Park. I feel like Lex holding the Jell-O, just shaking with excitement. Although she wasn't that excited. But I wanted to share with you my first encounter with Jurassic Park. It was 1994. VHS finally released. And I was a 3-year-old with the chicken pox.
Oh, my.
As any good family does for their youngest child, is they put on a movie when they're sick. And my family put on Jurassic Park. But what they didn't realize is that this would be the day I decide to learn to use the VHS player for myself. And we could not count how many times I watched it because my parents tell me it is all I watch for the entirety of my chicken pox. I would get
Amazing.
press rewind all the way back to the beginning, press play, watch it again over and over and over again. And it's probably why I look at my little chickenpox scar on my forehead and think of Jurassic Park. It's the movie that's impacted me the most. And it's my favorite movie. So thanks for covering it. And just want to thank you guys for creating the space that is so welcoming, been so welcomed in the village. And here's to the next 100 episodes. May they include Mamma Mia 1 and 2. Bye.
How'd you get that scar? Jurassic Park.
Amazing.
Thank you, Hannah, very much for setting that. Hannah made a comment in chat that she hates her voice. Welcome to podcasting, Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Now you're forever in our 100th episode.
Mamma Mia ep when?
Who's going to pick Mamma Mia?
Who's going to be brave enough?
Which one of you is going to pick it?
Pardo motioned his head side to side as if to point to us.
As if he was calling another raptor to come back him up.
All right, now we have one more clip to get through, and we're going to have to do some shenanigans to watch it like last week.
We have to watch something? Oh, my.
So
if
we're going to try
again. He's calling back. Sean, please.
Sean has sent another video. No, he has not. All right, it's a YouTube link from the village, the VHS village.
Are you? What are you doing?
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Send it.
All right, so let's all hit play. It's 4 minutes long. Everyone hit play on the count of 3. You ready? Oh, but you also have to mute it on your end.
I already muted.
You'll hear it on my end.
All right.
So 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70 Millimeter. Finally, a podcast about movies. Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70 Millimeter. Finally, a podcast about movies.
It's an honor to me.
Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70 Millimeter, a podcast for film lovers. Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70 Millimeter, a podcast for film lovers.
Hey, Slim, Danny, and Proto.
Hey, Slim, Proto, and Danny.
Get the fuck out.
Hey, Slim, Proto, and Danny.
Hey, Slim, Proto, and Danny.
We just want to say congrats on your 100.
I want to say congrats on your 100 episode.
Congrats on your 100.
Congrats on your 100.
We just wanted to say congrats on your 100 episode milestone.
We just want to say congratulations on your 100 episode milestone.
For almost 2 years now.
You've brought...
For almost 2 years now, you've now brought endless amounts
of entertainment with your love of film.
Definitely my favorite of the 3 as well. I adored this film.
And each other.
You need to be able to say that to people, your adult male friends, or your father, or
say
your
it
son,
now.
or whatever.
Turn to your
I
loved
love
one.
both of you.
I love you
right now on this
my
podcast.
Gosh.
All the way to Eastern Canada.
All the way to Los Angeles, California.
All the way to Cincinnati, Ohio.
All the way to Chicago, Illinois.
All the way to San Diego, California. All the way not just to London, England, but to Glasgow, Scotland too.
All the way to Long Beach, California.
All the way to Portland, Oregon.
All the way to Portland, Oregon.
All the way to Memphis, Tennessee.
All the way to Fort Worth, Texas.
All the way to San Diego, California.
All the way to Northern Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C.
All the way to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All the way to Knightdale, North Carolina.
All the way to Herndon, Virginia.
All the way to Pittsburgh.
All the way to Columbus, Ohio.
all the way to Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico.
All the way to New York City.
All the way to Columbia, South Carolina. But the most important thing to us has been...
But the most special thing to all of us this year has been...
But the most special thing to us has been the VHS Village.
Has been the VHS Village.
Oh my
The
gosh.
VHS Village.
You've created such a welcoming, open, empathetic space.
Open and empathetic space.
Where we all can just be ourselves and show our love for film.
All be ourselves and share our love for film.
You've created such a welcoming, open,
Is
and
there new
empathetic
music in here?
space where we all can be ourselves and show
Oh
our
my
love.
gosh.
Beyond the number of episodes, the village and community you've built.
Beyond the amount of episodes, the village and community
Beyond the amount of episodes, the village and community you've built will be a legacy to feel proud of.
So from the village possums to you.
From the village possums to you.
From the village possums to you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for letting us into your lives.
Thanks for letting us into your...
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us into your lives.
Thanks for letting us into your lives.
Thanks for letting us into your lives.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us into
you. Thanks for letting us into your lives, and congrats on the...
Comes to you. Thanks for letting us into your lives, and congrats on 100 episodes.
100 episodes. We can't wait for 100 more.
We can't wait for 100 more.
We can't wait for 100 more.
Here's to 100 more.
Bangs up.
Megan asked, are the hosts crying
Wow.
right now? And the answer, yes,
Wow.
I am
Very
crying,
Holy
Megan.
cow.
So thank you very much
Unreal.
Yeah.
for everyone who took the time to do that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I love you guys. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
We said before that our legacy probably isn't this podcast. It's most definitely the Discord and the friendships made inside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we say the podcast is supplemental at this point.
Right. Yeah. It's just a perk of the village.
I think Morpheus from The Matrix 4 has a new drip contender, and that's Mr. Andy Stone, if I can be frank with you, in that video.
Let's be frank.
Oh my gosh.
Episode 100, thank you, KK. I would assume that you orchestrated and put that together. Thank you, everyone. You mean a lot to us. It's very grateful to do this every week. Lots of fun. God, we still have a lot of show to get to.
What's next?
A lot of show to
I
get to.
forgot what we got to do. How do we even do this anymore?
We have two things to get to. Proto has something to say, and then we got to get to Danny's pick.
Oh my God, my pick.
Oh yeah. It's a new year, 2022, January, and we have a new journey to start. Of course, our noir journey and wrapped up in December. And it was a lot of fun. I think, kind of tailed off on the end there. So I thought this year, why don't we make them a little bit shorter? We're going to just do a journey that's 3 months. But instead of me picking it, I reached out to dear friend, dear villager, Brandon, because he, as far as I know, he's officially the only person who actually watched all the movies in the noir journey. So he gets that badge. I think there might be others, but I know he definitely did. But he was also really active in the journeys, and just talking about it, and of course watching all the movies. That I figured, hey, let's let him pick one. So he put together a few different options, and finally settled on doing the Apu trilogy, which is 3 movies that came out in the mid 50s, directed by probably murder this Satyajit Ray. First movie came out in 1955 called Pather Panchali.
Nailed it.
It's a trilogy. So in the 50s, should be a lot of fun. I think they're all available on Criterion. So if you have that, I think you can watch them that way.
Nice.
So yeah, that's that. New journey begins now.
Join us in the village to do the journey together. We have a special channel to talk about those movies. I'm excited. I've seen these on lists before. These have come across my desk several times, but never decided to watch. So these are great picks. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm going to join along on the ride, but no more important than Danny's pick for next week.
I mean, we're starting our new year off. We have decided a bit to not do any themed months, which I felt feels harder to pick a movie this way.
It is.
So what I've done for myself is set a theme for myself. And so what I would like to pick in movies are movies that I have personally not seen that feel big, like I should have seen, but also do my best to pick movies that you guys don't have at least as watched or rated on Letterboxd. So the 3 of us, at least a new film for the 3 of us. So what I've done is, because I love the 80s, I love the 90s. That's my jam for movies. There's a movie that I have no recollection of seeing, and it's one that I think about often of just firing up. So our first movie is Robin Williams' 1989 Dead Poets Society.
This was almost going to be my pick for fall vibes, I think.
Amazing.
Get out of here.
Oh my.
I haven't seen this film. At least I don't remember seeing it. I always get it confused with Good Will Hunting. So I'm excited. It's streaming. I believe it was on Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Oh.
So most of us have it. I'm very excited to watch this with you guys for my first viewing. And I don't know if you guys, have you guys seen it?
I have not.
I've only seen pieces when I was a kid. I've never seen the whole thing.
Okay. Well, at least I accomplished my theme once. So
this is a Peter Weir movie. Who did The Truman Show?
Correct.
Master and Commander. Witness.
Oh, and the Mosquito Coast.
Mosquito Coast, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a movie that I feel like I should have seen, and I really want to watch it. So there we go.
Matthew, the podcast godfather in chat. King Peter Weir.
King Peter.
My. Does he have Dead Poets Society rating on here?
He does. I saw his.
Uh-oh. What is it?
4.5.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Get the Oscars ready. Get him on the phone.
Yeah, so I'm excited. And I don't think we've covered Robin at all on any capacity.
No, we haven't.
That, and I believe this is Ethan Hawke's first movie. So I'm excited.
Really?
All right. Next week, Dead Poets Society streaming on Prime. Great. I'm excited to watch this. I'm pumped. What an app. We launched a new tier, $10 tier for watch along episodes and audio dispatches from Proto. I'm excited for folks to listen to it. If you're listening live, I'll make those posts live tonight. So next week, Dead Poets Society, Proto. Closing thoughts for this week?
We did it. 100 episodes. It feels crazy because, I remember being 60 movies in episodes and thinking 100 seems so far off. But here we are. So I guess, hey, if we can do 100 episodes, you can do anything.
My gosh.
We'll see everybody next week. $70mm is a tape deck production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Pertalexis. Producer at large, Dale_A. Transcripts provided by Sophie Shin and music composed by Cinematric. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. Support our Patreon for access to our VHS Village Discord to talk movies with new friends, access to our exclusive episodes in the 70mm vault, discounts on merch, uncut episodes, and a physical membership card mailed to you. To check out other Tape Deck podcasts, find the link in the episode notes. And if you'd like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to Pro or Patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
This is a Tape Deck podcast.